Well, last time I took a look at the Jurassic Park films, and I did see that, and since Rebirth is out now, I was going to look at the entire franchise. So now let's look at the Jurassic World films. I honestly don't have too much to say about them, although I do have a feeling my opinions on them are going to be controversial because I think all three of them are pretty good. Good. Now I know, or like, I no, no, they're not good, but they're pretty. I understand that, but allow me to explain. I do agree they're not as good as the original film. Oh, but personally, I think in, in the films are decent at what I, and almost as good as the original at best. So let's get a look into these films, starting with the first one, Jurassic World. Which is a good start. I'll admit, when I first saw this in January, I didn't go huge on the film. Like, I didn't dislike it, but I easily thought, or it was the weak kids film, the Jurassic World, trilogy. And after rewatching it, I think I like it a bit more. Like, I still think it might be the weakest kiss of the three. I don't know. I haven't seen Rebirth yet at the time of recording this. But I do think that it is a good film with a lot of good stuff. Jurassic World itself looks really good. It's like they took the theme park up in the first film and expanded it, making it like a huge tourist attraction, and like a real amusement park. I really like how the dinosaurs always really take center as the stars of the park too. Each one of them do look really good, and it shows how the CG has evolved since the first film. They still look fantastic in the fact as Jurassic Park. Don't get me wrong, but it's notable, or how much the technology has evolved. Oh, the storyline is also so fine. Like, it's not my favorite story, and it can be quite predictable. But I do like the ideas of what I was trying to present. And when the film is mainly focused on Jurassic World, it can be really good. And man, the action scenes, and they've always been the highlights of these films. But I think in some of my favorite dinosaur action scenes in this installment, they have a great fast pace to them, and they really play with the intensity, to making the viewer feel on the edge of their seat, invested throughout the entire film, and wondering what's going to happen next. The main human villain we get for this film is quite weak. In fact, I don't really think too much about most of the characters in this film. But I'll give that a pass because as when the film shows the dinosaurs as a threat, it's really exciting, especially with the Indominus Rex. They show this as one of the most dangerous and powerful dinosaurs that has been introduced into the franchise at this moment. And he looks so cool. And he can pose to be quite a threat. Like I said before, I was not huge on the characters. The actors did do really good. I especially really like Chris Pratt as Owen. When I thought he added enough charm onto it, even if he did seem a bit bored in certain moments. But some of the other characters didn't really click. You got it's like the new owner of the park. I don't really care much for in any of these films. And this is probably the film I care the least about her. And she's also shown not to be the greatest aunt to our nephews, who only appear in this one and never appear in the other two. Speaking of the nephews, is I do not get what's the older one's deal with his relationship with his brother. For the most part of them, he's like the jockey older brother, and then out of nowhere in the climax, actually becomes to protect the big brother trying to look out for his little bro. Oh, it honestly came out of nowhere. Speaking of coming out of nowhere, the little bro mentions that their parents won't be getting a divorce. It's only brought up in one scene, it's not even foreshadowed in the beginning, and it's never mentioned again. And I was like, well, that came out of nowhere. Despite these flaws, I still think Jurassic World is pretty good. It's just not as good as some of the other films in the franchise. It's definitely better than The Lost World. Oh, don't get me wrong. But I don't think this will be when I'll be coming back to it all the time. 7 out of 10. Wish they could have done better. So now let's move on to Fallen Kingdom, and this might be the hottest take out of this entire video. I think this one is almost as good as the original. No. Oh yeah, I really like this film. It's honestly great. Hey, the characters seem a lot more interesting this time. This is really showing the new little girl introduced into this film, Maisie. She is an interesting character, and the twist about her being a clone of a mother at the end of the film was quite interesting. Also, I know many people think her decision of letting the dinosaurs go at the end is quite silly, but I do understand why she does it. When she finds out she's a clone, it kind of makes sense why she does something like this. Also, I did get a bit giddy when Jeff Goldblum cameoed at the beginning of the film, and the end. And his role might have not been huge, but at least he's not out from this of his purpose. But I also found the story quite interesting, mainly focusing on the fate of the dinosaurs, or if humanity should save them, or they should let them go extinct. It's honestly an interesting question. And I can understand both sides of the argument, and without me getting more invested in the story. Also, the action is still good, still really good. I do think Jurassic World has some slightly better action scenes, but they can be quite intense. And I like the scene where the characters and the dinosaurs are trying to escape this island from an erupting volcano, and I did think the climax had its fair share of intense moments. Some of the side characters introduced in this film aren't really that interesting though. I definitely grew to like Claire and Owen in this one, and I don't think their relationship was handled better in here than it was in the first Jurassic World. But when you introduce these boring side characters, they don't really do much to help the film. They do introduce one guy who used to be Mont's brother and a co-founder on the Jurassic Park. And I like how he has this dark secret that added to a part, and it's not revealed to the end. And I like how they give subtle hints, but you don't give it out for right away. I give it the audience time to figure out for themselves what the big twist is. This is why I found it quite impactful when it was revealed that maybe it was a clone. And I personally do really like the end. I already said why I understand why Maisie made that big mistake at the end. And heck, if I was a clone like her, I think I might have done the same thing. But maybe I wouldn't have been as brave as her, but you know what I mean. Fallen Kingdom is surprisingly really good. Definitely the best of the three Jurassic World films, and almost as good as the original. I know it's weird saying that this is my second favourite film in the franchise, but hey, give this one a chance. It's a lot better than you give it credit for. 8 out of 10. Actually, maybe, yeah, 8.5. I'll go 8.5 out of 10. And then we end this with Dominion, and the one many people call the worst of the franchise. I liked it when I first saw it, and I still like to hear too. Granted, I might not like as much, but I'm not going to blame it on the film because my internet when watching the feature wasn't that great. So I might have to rewatch it again to see if it is probably better or worse as than the first Jurassic World. But I still really liked it. I like Dominion for what it was. I do think the story is the weakest part, especially when the main threat of the feature is Locust. I'll admit, for a movie about dinosaurs, you should have the dinosaurs as the main threat. Honestly, like the ideas is they're setting up the Locust, and I do think Johnson is easily the best human villain of the franchise. Because he does set up a point compared to some of the others. But I don't think in having the Locust because as the big main threat of the feature was a good idea. Maisie is still an interesting character, but her actress, I don't know, she seemed quite bored and fed up when reading her lines. The rest of the actors do really good. In fact, I think the old cast in this film was really good, and the acting was strong. But I didn't. But when it came to the actress of Maisie, I didn't really care for it. Also, it's revealed that Maisie is still a clone. And her mother was able to create the clone version of Maisie all by herself. I'll admit, yeah, I like the idea of the twist, but it kind of ruined the big twist of Fallen Kingdom. Why not have her grandfather still be the one creating it? It would have made it a lot more heartbreaking and emotional. All that actually that he created easy after the loss of his daughter. I honestly prefer. Also, this is probably the mind thing, but while the dinosaurs still look amazing in this film, I did notice some of the textures just feeling a bit off. Not all the time, but there were times they didn't look that great. But I do have some strong positives. Tips. I think Cohen and Cloudwise handled decently here. They weren't amazing, but I really liked them, and they did show a good bond for Maisie. See, I also think in the dinosaurs that do have a point, especially Blue, who are highly creative and interesting. Then I like Blue in the previous films. Sure, her role isn't big, but I like how all the raptors that Owen was able to train, and he was able to form a strong bond with Blue. Hence why Owen is desperate to not just save Maisie, but to save Blue's baby as well. Speaking of her baby, Beta is kind of cute. Not a fantastic character, but I did enjoy her actually did it off some cute dinosaur moments. The action is still quite exciting in this feature. I did get fully invested with the action scenes whenever they occur. And like I said before, it's great to see the old cast back. They felt more in character with their original counterparts. I still think Jeff Goldblum stole the show as Ian Monk, easily having the funniest parts of the feature. So, I like when he finds out that Claire's the one and creates Jurassic World. Not a fan. That is so funny, and I can imagine the many people that aren't used to the Jurassic World films using that quote to describe their feelings on these films. So yeah, is it as good as the others? But no, but I still like Jurassic World Dominion for or what it is. I feel like if my internet connection was a bit better, so I might have liked it a bit more on the rewatch than I did the first time. I don't know. I'll have to watch it with a better internet connection to say if I can properly enjoy it. But overall, it doesn't change the fact that I did it's like the minion flaws and all. And I'll give it a 7 out of 10. And still think it's slightly better than the first Jurassic World. That's all the films looked at. And with the exception of The Lost World, I do think that this was a mostly good franchise. So it had its ups, it had its downs, but I think the Jurassic films were pretty good. I'm quite curious about Rebirth. I've heard really mixed things about the film, and both good, bad, and meh. So I'll just have to wait and see where I fall when I eventually watch it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!